Since the black king is in the corner, white can play as follows. Already the black king is confined to a few squares. If the black king, in the original position, had been in the center of the board, or away from the last row, white should have advanced his king, and then, with the aid of his bishops, restricted the black king's movements to as few squares as possible. In this ending the black king must not only be driven to the edge of the board, but he must also be forced into a corner, and, before a mate can be given, the white king must be brought to the 6th rank and, at the same time, in one of the last two files, in this case either h6, g6, f7, or f8, and as h6 and g6 are the nearest squares, it is to either of these squares that the king ought to go. White must now mark time and move one of the bishops, so as to force the black king to go back. Now the white bishop must take up a position from which it can give check next move along the white diagonal, when the black king moves back to g8. Now we come to two bishops and king against king. Here it has taken 14 moves to force the mate and, in any position, it should be done in under 30. In all endings of this kind, care must be taken not to drift into a stalemate. In this particular ending one should remember that the king must not only be driven to the edge of the board, but also into a corner. In all such endings, however, it is immaterial whether the king is forced on to the last rank, or to an outside file, for example h4 or a5, e8 or d1.